Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Three of Pentacles, our channel. We are three tarot card readers, and we like to, we're three tarot card readers, yep, and I'll be introducing them in just a second. We like to do world events and things that are happening because there's a lot of things happening in the world right now. We also do personal readings. And before we get started, as you see, we have a fourth person that's our special guest today. I'm gonna leave her the best for last. Well, the best for last, the best for best.
Oh,
We have our beautiful Kyla and our beautiful Lynn.
Hi, everyone.
And we have our special guest, Miss Claire Woodley. Thank you for being here today with us, Claire.
hi.
And we did have you on our show before, so welcome back. Thank you for coming back. And but before we get started, we're going to do some clearing. We're going to do some clearing, right? Right, ladies?
Yeah, just
Yep.
going to do a quick
Okay,
energy clearing for everyone. So, hello,
quick energy
everyone.
clearing.
Yes, Barbara, did you want to add anything else before we start?
We just wanted, what would you like to add anything? Because sometimes I forget to add stuff.
We can add it
Yeah.
at the end. We'll be good.
Okay, well, we do have Lynn already. She's already armed and ready with the sound bowl, so we're going to do a nice clearing before we get started. Thank
Yes.
you.
So, hello again, everyone, and welcome. We especially want to thank our lovely guest today, Claire Woodley. Claire, it's a pleasure to have you on today. Thank you so much for joining us. Before we start, we want to take just a few moments to clear the energy while sitting in gratitude and connecting to Mother Earth and godly source energy, our angels and spirit guides, higher selves, and energy of the highest vibration of light, serving our highest good only. We ask you to help us to see what we need to see, hear what we need to hear, and speak what we need to speak. And so it is. We thank you. We thank you. We thank you.
Okay, ladies.
Thank you for that, Lynn. We appreciate
Oh,
that.
I could have
All
stayed
right.
for hours.
Well, Claire, again,
Good
thank you
job.
for coming here with us. We have Claire Woodley with us, and I'm just going to read a little bit about her so everybody can know who you are if they don't already. With intuitive gifts as a psychic medium, channel, Reiki master, quantum energy healer, and past life regression therapist. She can help you reconnect with your life purpose and release your limitations and rediscover your passions and directions. So whether supporting personal growth, guiding you towards your true path, or helping you expand your professional vision, she creates a safe and nurturing place to help you manifest abundance and to step into your authentic power. And as a channel, she acts as a bridge between the physical and the spiritual worlds, offering guidance, clarity, and healing. And through her telepathic connection with spirit, angels, and source, she shares deep and meaningful insights and messages aligned with you and your highest good. Her approach is supported by her past experience as a registered nurse specializing in mental health, bringing a compassionate understanding of mind-body connection to your journey. And she provides psychic readings, energy healing, online Reiki, past life regressions, psychic and spiritual mentorship, self-love awakening package. And you can book a psychic reading and a spiritual guidance. So go to her website today, not now, just go to her website after you get finished looking at the video. And also, Claire, you have an Awaken retreat in Bali this summer, right?
Yeah, I do actually. I've almost sold it out. I think I may have actually sold the last place today for 10 women. I've had 30 years experience traveling to Bali. My family actually used, and thank you for that introduction, by the way.
Absolutely.
Felt like I was standing on stage about to win an award or something.
But you
Um,
deserve one, that's for sure.
no, no. Yeah, so yeah, the Bali retreats have always been a goal of mine or something I wanted to do because my family built a home very close to where this particular one that photo is, and we ran it as a holiday house at first, really, which turned into a larger project and then became a wedding venue, really. We had 7 villas there in total, so we could have 14 people at a time, and we had that property and that business for 12 years. So I was taking friends and family, and then extended family and friends, and was guiding and touring them around Bali. And I thought, wow, I really got a lot of experience in with these beautiful people, the culture, and I just love being there. And so why not take people there and offer spiritual retreats? So that's what I'm doing. It's got a little bit of point of difference because it's in the luxury price point, and accommodation is very, very beautiful. It's on a private estate, same as the old property that we had. Everything's included, like the chef, food, all the meditation, yoga, blessings, healings, workshops, and all of it apart. The only thing is airfares and travel insurance. So we got all women. It's an all women retreat, 1st to the 7th of June, and we're selling. Yeah, if the lady confirms today, it's all sold out. But the next one's in October, so people from overseas can come. They should arrive in Bali maybe 1 or 2 days before, just to get over the jet lag. But I really do encourage people to come from UK and Europe and United States. If you haven't been to Bali already, it's a magnificent small little country in Indonesia, Southeast Asia, right at the top of Australia, near the huge Java and in Jakarta. If you don't know where it is, it's very, very lush and tropical. But there are different parts to it that are busy and not so busy, and mountainous areas. You may have heard of Ubud is the spiritual center. And then we have Seminyak and Canggu areas, which are the busier. So it's sort of nestled in the middle there in a tropical jungle, ancient village. It really is stunning. So yeah,
Sounds lovely. Yeah.
just a
That is
place to
excellent.
relax, and come back to self. That's the main thing.
Now,
Yeah.
you from Australia to get there in a flight, how long does it take?
5.5 hours. So really, that's why a lot of people, and I'm in the most southern part of Australia, pretty much, apart from the island of Tasmania. Melbourne is right down the bottom of Australia. So yeah, people from Sydney, it's 4 hours. Yeah, it's really not long a trip at all for Australians. So that's why they tend to all go there. Yeah, and there's a lot of different accommodation options. It's quite it's just hotels to choose from. Yeah, but also there's that beautiful nature to relax in as well. It's got the best of both worlds. Yeah,
Yeah,
I love
I've
it.
heard a lot of beautiful things about Bali.
Yeah.
Yeah,
For
yeah.
sure.
They're very, very beautiful. They're Hindu. Then their religion is Hindu, so they worship a whole lot of different gods. They're very, very connected in their families and extended families. Neighbors are not really neighbors, they're part of their village, and then nobody gets left out. No one ever goes hungry in Bali. Even though they're very poor, a lot of them, they're very rich. Really, they're a lot richer than a lot of us Westerners.
Yes,
In
sure.
soul sort of richness. Very giving
Yeah,
That's great.
people.
definitely heard great things about Bali, and definitely on the bucket list of the places I want to visit soon. So that
Yeah,
sounds lovely. I have 2 little ones. Otherwise I would love to join you. Let's see how it goes, but October
yes.
trip, anyone who's interested can please contact Claire. Everything's on the website.
Thank you, ladies.
Yes.
We'll
Yeah.
attach
And
her website
It's
links and
actually
everything
being
down below.
updated, the website. The new retreat page is actually being built, so that'll probably go up in a week's time. But yeah, October
Oh,
6th to 12th is the second one for the year.
sounds
great.
great.
And your website is Claire Woodley. woodley.com.au. So that's Claire, Claire, woodley.com, but we'll put the link under the video.
Thanks, girls. Thank you. Yeah, lovely.
Wonderful.
So you
Go
were
ahead,
talking,
Kaila.
yeah, you sent us a lovely video, and we understand that you have been doing a lot of channeling work. And there was something that really struck us, and it left an imprint when you channeled Gaia. That message was so beautiful.
Yeah,
So yeah,
I
you can go ahead.
I thought I might share that with you prior to the interview to just show you sometimes it doesn't come in every single day, those sort of messages in that poetic way in which she spoke through me. And that's why I captured it and wanted to share it with the world. And but channelings come in for clients during session from different energies, whether it be Source, Mother Gaia, their guardian angels, or their guides. Sometimes those that have passed over onto the other side will come through if it's consensual with the client. Sometimes that's too much for them, but if they're wanting it, I'll do it for them if it's appropriate for their healing, because sometimes people want things and it may not really be for their highest good. Want to know things and that are not particularly helpful for them. So I tend to work in collaboration with the client. Like sometimes people come in and they just sit there and they want me to tell them everything, tell me what's going to happen to my life, tell me. But I prefer to, when people ask me, questions about, why doesn't this person doing this for me, or why isn't this happening for me, or is it going to happen? I'd rather work in that realm of, well, let's work out why you're creating that for yourself, because we all create our own reality. That's what I believe. And it usually goes down to core wounds and core beliefs and thoughts and suppressed emotions. So I tend to do a lot of work in helping people release, recognize these things. I can pick up on them, and usually I will do that prior to a session. I'll just sit and connect in with them, with their heart energy. And I'll come up with a list of things that I'll bring up with them. Sometimes I leave certain things out until we talk about them, and I go, well, yeah, that's interesting because I just wrote that down, and I'll show them. And that establishes that trust and that rapport with the client. And, if they're ready to do some breath release work and inner child work, it's just a lot of it's got to do with the inner child work now. I'm finding with most people that I come in contact with. Yeah. But Mother Gaia came through on this particular day. And this was, I'm allowed to talk about this because the client said it was okay. And it has been published on other channels. But I just found that the message was really quite a universal one, and that it would be lovely to share it today. Exact words that she said, I'll leave her. I can put her name in there, her first name. She won't mind, but I might leave it out. But the way that the channeling comes through, I'm there, but I'm kind of not there. Does it make sense? Like, and I've likened the channeling, I've always said, oh, it just came in, 3 or 4 years ago, but really I feel like I've been a channel my entire life because I was a singer. I've been a singer my whole life. And a professional one from the age of 16. I was recording music for other songwriters, and then I was in bands, and off I went, a recording artist and session vocalist. So I did a lot of commercials and things. But anyway, the energy of channel has always been part of me. So I guess it was just been a,
Hey, Claire, can I
been
ask you a quick
involvement
question?
of that. Yeah.
I did a hypnosis session, and when you say that it's like you're there but you're not, it was kind of like when the hypnotist, asked to speak to my higher self. I could see myself looking, going, how are these words coming out of my mouth? This isn't what I'm saying. Is
Yeah.
that what it kind of feels like?
Yeah, it
Okay.
does. It does.
Okay.
It's like you've got to, well, in hypnosis and then well, yeah, during that particular time that you're talking about, when you speak, when this high self speaks through you,
Yeah.
um, yeah, it is a bit similar because you've got to trust and know or sense or feel that, and that the very first thing that you hear or that you and go. A lot of people question it and go, no, 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 that's not my high self, that's me. And then sometimes I'll say to them, well, that's funny because you're talking about yourself in the third person right now. And
Yes.
their eyes are closed and they're going, really? So yeah, it can come that feeling of can come in for different people in different ways. But yeah, I do agree with you.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, so it's sort of like I'm there, but like I'm on the stage singing with
Mhm.
it with a but then I kind of take a little step back and then Gaia takes the mic. So
Yeah, I was just about to ask you, as a singer myself, in fact, we discussed this on the other video. Have you ever had any episodes while performing on stage and, getting energy from the room, or a really good energy from the room, or maybe not so good energy from the room? Because that happens when you're on the stage as well. So
yeah.
have you ever had that before? And if you have, what type of protection did you kind of?
Oh, I used to um feel really in my body when I was singing the right songs that suited me, that like were really uplifting to
Yeah,
me, that I could really
yeah.
use my voice to its best ability, and I was in the right key. I was in a nice, comfortable setting, and there was, my microphone and sound was right, because I often found, as doing gigs all the time, that often I couldn't hear myself very well because the sound engineer was, not
I know
giving
how that is.
feedback, a fold back part of me, and but when all of that was really, really nice and balanced, yeah, I could really shine and I could sing, for hours, and I got sort of more and more warmed up as the show would go on, and but yeah, definitely when a song is moving, you tend to really channel and phrase it beautifully and hold the note nicely if it needs to or not, and not too much mucking around. And I tend to find that a lot of singers tend to do a lot of vocal acrobatics, and sometimes that can be nice, but often I think it's overdone. I think comes sometimes less can be more with singing.
Agree.
But
I agree.
true
And
in
while you're on stage,
life,
did
isn't
you?
it?
That's true. That's true. And did you ever have any like episodes energetic episodes while you were on the stage or performing? Like
Hmm.
you're at a place at a gig and you're singing, and all of a sudden you feel like maybe somebody walks in the room, or somebody back there doesn't really, I don't know, just not sending you good energy.
Oh,
Have you ever had that before?
totally, totally. Like feeling, nervous. I've had episodes where I've had my voice just completely give out on me. That used to happen a lot. I don't know whether that was psychic attack or not, but I would be terrified. The most terrifying thing you can possibly imagine, having an audience in front of you and you've got 3 hour show or three sets of music to sing and you've got no power there. Awful. Awful.
Yeah.
But so I don't know, somehow I would get myself through it. I would, just I'd really have to come into myself and just calm down and yeah. But I don't know about feeling like any negative stuff coming back at me, but more within me. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Probably because I hadn't
That's
looked after myself well enough or something, and
yeah.
you know, always a lesson
Yeah.
in there for you.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because like music in itself is healing, right? Because the frequency, it just lifts the vibration. So
Yeah.
it's quite lovely.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I remember, I've done some really amazing, shows, and sometimes some of the smallest ones have given me the most joy when I've had, people come up to me and just go, that just moved me, you really, thank you for that. Or even just a glance from people turning their heads,
Yeah.
at a certain note or something. There's just things like that. Yeah. So thanks for asking that.
That's beautiful.
Oh, thank
Yeah.
you. Yeah, singing is lovely. I've got it written out. Would you like me to read it out for you?
Love that.
Yes,
Yes.
thank you.
So just a bit of context with the client. She is a woman that or she may have moved by now. I don't know, but who lives in a Asian country, in a concrete jungle, if that makes sense, in a high-rise area, surrounded by other high-rise buildings everywhere, very little nature, if any. And she was feeling completely suffocated within her life, very lonely, in need of a lot of nurturing, in need of connection, sad. She really wanted a partner as well, and just was at a loss. So she came to me a few times, and this was halfway through her session. So the guides were speaking in the first half and of her hour and a half session. This was the second half. I'll read it out. It'll probably take me 5 minutes or so to read it. But Gaia, Mother Earth, came in and said that she missed her because of her, I guess, encapsulation within this world of no earth, no nature around her, just this concrete. Okay, so it began with, she is waiting patiently, I was saying to my client, for you. She misses you. And the client said, really? And I said, yes, she'll speak to you now if you would like to hear from her. And the client said, sure. And then Gaia said, and this is, I'm not, well, I just want to say that I don't speak in this way. So that's why I feel it's very pure in its nature, in the words that came through. She said, beautiful child of God, beautiful soul, my beautiful one, a light being residing here with me. Mother Earth is calling you. It is Gaia, Terra, Mother, Divine Soul. A light is burning inside of you that only you can ignite and I can flame. All of your desires and hopes and dreams are within you, within this fire, but you need to have a wick that is longer, wick being, on a candle. And I can provide this for you, a wick that stands the test of time and is not slowly burning, but burning with passion and heat. You are so beautiful, but the light isn't shining brightly enough for yourself, nor for myself, as I need your light just as much as you do. Please come to me and let me flame your desires again and feed your soul with mine. And know instinctively that you will be okay and taken care of me and by God. And then, only then, will you see how beautiful you are, and the man of your dreams will see it too. And he will see exactly what I see, a beautiful woman with a heart of pure golden fire and flames that burn passionately and organically and with so much compassion. And this beauty that this flame attracts, that will attract the twin flame, and they will burn together brightly forever. So I ask that you come to me wherever I am, open space, Breathe in the air from the tall trees, or the mountain air, or the sea spray, or any part of me that is available for you to choose. I don't mind. But what I do mind is seeing your flame slowly burning rather than intensely. Can I ask you a question? She said. Do you believe that your flame is worth burning brightly? And she said, I guess I have been at the client said, I've been attacked. I'm scared. And she said, it's all right, my darling. She said, oh, wipe your tears away, my love. Always know that you are my child as well as God's, and your relationships are truly never going to be scary again when you know just how beautiful you are. And this life, in this life lesson for many here upon my, and she said, soil, it's extremely difficult to navigate and to trust other people. I understand this, she said, Gaia said, because I have struggled as well. Believe me, I have struggled. I have learned not to allow these beings to hurt my soul anymore by giving their energy back to where it once originated from, and that is back to source. So when you feel loss and grief and pain from the past, or in the now moment, hand your pain, their pain, all of it back to God, and know that you do not have to struggle alone. This is where I feel you are in the most upset of yourself, being alone. So she said, may I, this is quite beautiful. So she said, may I offer an extended tree branch as an extension of an arm? Shall we imagine it as? And hold on to me when you come and visit, and let's talk and let's come up with the plan of action so that you'll become so clear and so easy that you will think to yourself, I took a while to get to this point, didn't I? And holding that thought is all you need today, because I know that you will come to see me and we will chat, and I will give you, and I will help you heal yourself by divine union and divine oneness together as one. And that was that. And basically I sort of just wound it up. So she's based that was the sort of the ending of the channeling, apart from the conversation I had with the client. Yeah.
That's a
That's
beautiful
really
message.
beautiful.
Beautiful, intense.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Beautiful how she talked about the flame, I thought, and the flame within,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and how she said that the wick needs to be longer. Beautiful. Yeah. So I was, in those sorts of sessions, I often get quite overwhelmed, and some of the writing there is me saying, oh my goodness, oh, I sometimes cry. It's quite, being in that energy is very, very, very powerful and sacred, and it sometimes takes my breath away.
Yeah. Because a lot of the times when you do healing for other people, the healing comes to you as well, and you feel everything moving through you. So it's very powerful.
Yeah.
When I listened, it brought me to tears.
Yeah,
I know
me
Lynn
too.
said the same thing.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
it was
Wow.
so wonderful. And
Yeah.
something brought to mind was recently, now we like to read on world events just, for our channel, but we have our different specialties, and it's all about healing as well, and connecting and so on. So we have our different modalities and so on. And it's interesting that when we've been reading recently, we've been getting that Empress card a lot, which is literally Gaia, Mother Earth coming through.
Oh,
And it's like the message that has been coming through for maybe about a year or so is go back to Mother Earth, go back to that nurturing side, that no matter what's happening in the world events, it's so small compared to that nurturing, powerful Mother Nature that's there, and godly energy that's there to support you. It's so small what we're seeing happening in the world right now, compared to something way bigger. So
yeah.
that really moved us.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, if you compare it to the size of the ocean and the power of that, what
Yeah.
is it, not that we can't feel, compassion for others or anything like that. But yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what cards you come up with today.
Mhm.
And you think about, if you look around and think about the world and what's going on in the world today, how people are kind of really disconnected from nature and these types of things, you know.
Yeah.
And something people would say, oh, something as simple as nature, which isn't really simple for me. It's deep and it's spiritual, but we have that disconnect these days.
Yeah.
And maybe people don't think about just go to the park, go sit under a tree, and they probably think that, oh, that's so crazy and simple. I need a pill or I need something else.
Yeah. I think sometimes they do, but they forget they've got rubber shoes on too, so they're still not totally connected unless they actually take off the shoes and get barefoot or sit down, and
Yeah.
touch the tree and
Well,
hold the tree,
Yeah,
and
even
for
even the bushes
Yep.
love you.
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Well, over here, I mean, it's all the time in the news. It's like, be careful of the sun. It's harmful for you.
Yeah.
There's these Lyme disease, so don't walk bare feet on the grass, So there's so much fear
Yeah.
being put out there.
Mm.
So unless you're really questioning things, a lot of people are missing these small but big things that are needed.
Yeah, isn't
Yeah.
it true that in some Japanese holistic practitioners just recommend forest bathing if you're not well,
Yeah.
just walking in the forest, and if I know if I don't get down and put my feet on the sand at my local beach, I just feel totally
Yeah.
totally out of my body. Yeah, I miss it. I crave it. And wintertime can get a bit difficult for me because I
Yeah.
can't go down there.
It is with me.
And
I
it's just
have
that,
I have 5 acres, so I'm always if I have my moccasins, so at least I can wear those. But it's wet and cold right now. I can't. We had 60
No.
degrees a couple days ago, almost 70. I was like, I got to take my shoes off. Yay!
I just find it's just the belief system today of people in general, the belief system of going to the ocean, we've lost that. I believe at one time people used to do these things.
Yeah.
And then we've gotten taken over by certain things, and you all know, society and technology. And then we've lost that connection. We just lost it.
Yeah, because they
Yeah.
have us
But
putting
I'm
sunscreen
hopeful.
on and everything else, even though we're there, we're
Yeah.
blocking it.
Yeah.
I'm very hopeful. We see a movement happening. I'm very hopeful that we can get back to that point. I mean, it won't probably happen in the next month or the next year, but slowly we'll get back to that point and we'll realize how important Mother Nature is.
Totally. It's where it's at.
So,
Yeah.
I'm even
yeah.
seeing on social media now, like every single, like nearly 3/4 of the channels I follow they come across on Instagram, for example, are people talking about the new earth and the real healing, the real healing, which that's important for us now, which is going within and yeah, healing those inner, as we were saying before, core wounds and the inner child, and stop blaming everyone else for your problems, and
People like
because
being the victim still, unfortunately. They got to
Yeah.
get out of that.
yeah,
Isn't it something how when we're children, how those things start when we're children? It's such an impact. And then as we grow, it grows within us. That really is a little daunting.
yeah.
An innocent child that has to bear all of this emotion and then you become an adult and you take that in that backpack with you and you keep going. It's just,
Yeah, and just keeps attracting that back and back and back to you until you can figure out that it's definitely a repeating pattern. And what am I going
it
to do
is.
about it? Because they're not going to change. They're certainly not going
Exactly.
to change. So I often, when I'm having issues in my life, and I've had an amazing mentor, I go into my body. I know how to do it quite quickly, and so I do with my clients, and we feel like the story can be told and over and over again, but I'll pick up on, and she'll pick up on, for me, because I need healing too, like everyone else.
Yeah.
What are the actual what are the feelings? What are the I am feelings? That I'm experiencing? What are the programs that are running? And I'll go into my body and I'll feel that pain. I'll really, really acknowledge it because it's coming up to be released. And often the same pain will occur, but it'll have a different story attached to it. I'll go back and feeling of betrayal has come up in my life recently, and in my life now, the story is coming up, but then I'll go back to where I feel it was really where source wants me to go back and give that part of my self inner child. It maybe this went back to when I was in my 20s and I had a massive betrayal. It needed to be that part of me needed to be loved and reassured. And I felt her pain big time, and then I breathed that out, and you can really feel it coming out. So that's the kind of work I tend to do, and it affects what comes into my life, and I don't have to focus too hard on other people. I just come in and change my inner world, and that affects what comes in. It's really cool, really cool.
That leads me to a question. Do you have sessions with children as well? Because that's where it all starts.
Yeah.
Do you have any clients?
No, I tend not to work with children. I do though work in surrogate sessions with mothers for their children. If the connection and the guides are happy with that. So, for example, I've had a client who has a disabled son. I've had a few actually, 3 or 4 over the years, and we'll do a surrogate healing through the mother's DNA connection, and consent is done to help heal and understand. So the high self of the child will come through and speak what is needed. Sometimes these children are non-verbal, with disability, and can be very helpful for the mother and the father to understand deeply more the needs of the child or the adolescent. Yeah. But I have to ask for consent from that child's high self first. And
Even if it's a small baby.
Yeah, even if it's a small baby, yeah, I'll connect in with the high self of the baby and see if that's okay, because sometimes there's life lessons that are involved, and natural spiritual law will say no. Sometimes I'll just get a no, that's not appropriate. And I go, oh, okay, well, I'm sorry, but there's reasons why that I'm not allowed to know, or you're not. Yeah.
They got to learn that lesson themselves. Yeah.
Yeah, that happens with adults too. Want to know stuff. And it's, sometimes it's, really important to them, or sometimes it's just, just really sort of everyday things, or information about other people. And I'm sorry, I'm not allowed to give you that information.
Yeah.
Not for your highest good, or for the good, highest good of all life everywhere.
Right.
That's a spiritual law that I adhere to and been taught by my guides. Yeah.
Did you have a question you wanted us to pull cards on, Claire?
Oh, sure.
You girls got your cards?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's have a think about that. Oh gosh, I'm on the spot. How is the evolution of humankind moving at this present moment towards peace, to peace and harmony on Earth? I know it's a pretty general one, but how is that moving along?
Would you like me to pop, Barbara? Would you like to?
And
I see you're already geared up. I like when she's a quick draw. No, you can.
It's okay. Either one
You can
is
go ahead,
fine.
Kaila. Go ahead.
Okay. Okay, so you guys can chat in the meantime.
Yeah. And while she's pulling on that question, I keep going back to the message, the Mother Gaia message. And I like the part about that. I have two questions about that if I can. The
Yeah.
part about the wick, when Mother Gaia was through you was telling your client that the wick needs to be a little longer.
Yeah.
So does that mean and I'm having a different funny light coming through. It looks like my teeth is a little weird, but that's okay. My teeth, you
They
see?
look, yeah, I do. They look
Because
like they see through.
that's the
Yeah.
Really white.
that's the
Much whiter
background.
than yeah,
They
go
look
ahead.
whiter than they are, right? But then
Oh
the
yeah.
icon, uh, the logo keeps coming through my mouth. That's
It's
telling
so
me something. I have
cool.
to talk about Three of Pentacles more. Look, but now that wick, when she says that wick needs to be a little longer,
Yeah.
do you think that it means like there's more inner work that needs to be done?
Totally. Yeah.
What does
Yeah.
that?
Yeah. I feel
Okay.
like, yeah, the self-love needs to be much more of a priority for her. Yeah. She needs to take
Okay.
action. She needs to take responsibility, change her behavior to
Yeah.
grow, because, sitting in that concrete jungle, um, you know, days and days on end without, changing or doing anything, it's not going to really,
Hmm.
if nothing changes, nothing changes. So in
Yeah.
order to grow herself, grow that wick so the flame burns brighter. Yeah, that's what I took from it.
Yeah. And that message is, it seems like it was not only for her, but mankind in general. It seems like, just like you were saying, right? It's for everybody.
Yeah.
Because I was like wondering how I'm gonna apply that to my life, because as you were listening, I said, okay, I can do that. I can do this. Yeah, that's possible. I'm gonna take that message. So we can all take that message, right, Claire?
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm going to read it out on my Instagram channel for everyone too, because I think it's so important that people understand, as we've been saying, that there's no need to feel that you have to go and see a doctor to get well, or that Mother Earth as we've been saying, is probably one of the greatest healers that you can go and see and get help from for free.
She's given us
Absolutely.
everything we need to heal everything. For every illness, there's a plant
Correct.
or
Yeah.
something, as well as just the energy and the frequencies, for sure.
And being
In fact, because if you
electromagnetic beings, we need to connect to her to
Yep.
help and heal, especially if you've got inflammation in your body.
Oh, she healed
Perfect.
my neuroma. I had a neuroma on my foot, and just by grounding, within like 3 months, it was healed.
Beautiful.
Yep.
and if you think about a lot of the medication that we have on Earth, a lot of it comes from plants, and then they, of course, do other things and to it, and so that's
Yeah.
but
Synthetic. Yeah.
these are some interesting cards here that we have for your question, Claire.
That's good. I don't know much about the tarot, a little bit, but yeah, go for
Yeah.
it. Read it.
Now your question was, can you repeat it as we're looking at
Well, I was just
that card?
asking about, how is the growth of humanity going at this time on Earth towards the new Earth and the ascension? What do we have to learn? What do we have to move through um, at this time yeah, for our evolution? That would be my question, sort of reworded.
Hmm.
What are you
Right,
thinking,
awesome.
Kyla?
So what I'm seeing is humanity is coming across as the Three of Swords, and just below we have the Fool. So humanity is being represented as coming from a place of hurt.
Mm.
So there's healing that needs to be done, vulnerability. In the past, we have a lot of confusion, a lot of emotions. I think over the last 5 years, even more confusion and emotions have been brought up to be healed. And so what we're moving towards is the Hanged Man, which is enlightenment. We have the Ten of Pentacles, and this is also what we're trying to build, which is a better world, physical abundance and generational wealth and well-being. So this is where we're moving to. In the middle, in the environment, what we have is a process of manifesting that. So I would say that this is where the shift happens. Right now, we are at that Knight of Swords moment where we have moved from that page. So we have several stages in the tarot, and we're moving towards the Queen and the King, which will be like actually doing, coming into that enlightenment moment. And this is looking good because we have the Four of Wands and the King of Swords. But in the meantime, where we're at right now is a lot of healing still has to happen. We do have the sun just below the deck, which means this is bright. This is a very good positive sign. So I think it's showing that free will needs to come in, but that abundance and whatever it is, that better world or whatever we want to manifest, it's right there. It's just right there with the sun card. And we just need to move through those that portal with the Four of Wands. But people need to come into their power, and they need to embody that King of Swords person, who is somebody who stands in their truth, who is now, standing above that whatever is coming in from the outside, and they're standing in their inner personal power and personal truth. But they also have a bit of humor to them, so which means that they're not like somebody who just sticks to, okay, this is what it is, but they actually have that ability to understand and accept other people and other people's opinions as well. But I think a lot of healing still has to happen. And I what I've been seeing is this year is the year of change. But before that shift is visible, we need to actually step into that power now. That's what I'm seeing. So it's right there, but we're at that moment of healing and change.
It's
Mhm.
amazing.
Yeah.
The only
Gosh,
thing
that's
I would
Yeah.
add to that is with the magician telling everybody to go into their inner magician, and you've got everything you need. You need to go within too.
Mhm. Yes.
Yeah. The magician is definitely the master manifester. However, the magician is also tricky, and he's not too well aspected with the Three of Swords going through the heart. So a lot of people right now, the three cards, the Three of Swords with the heart, the magician, and the hangman is basically represented as the present. So a lot of people are hurt. A lot of people are starting to stop and think and reflect like the hangman. And the hangman, he looks a little daunting, looks a little scary because when you pull that card, people think, "Oh, you're gonna hang." But it's if you turn that card upside down, he's in a yoga position and he has a halo around his head.
oh,
And a lot of times the halo, a lot of people think that that you're angelic and you're doing the right thing all the time. That's not usually what it is. You're arriving at a knowledge. So the brighter the halo, the more knowledge you have. So your head starts to glow, you know. So right now we're at a tricky situation with the magician and hurt, but people are starting to stop and think. And see the people card under it? I call it the people card, where it has all those pentacles. It looks like the tree of life, the way it's shaped with the pentacles. But there's a
does.
lot of
Yeah.
people, yeah, a lot of people in the square, they're talking. So I that's also my social media card. So people are starting to really think, just like you said, Claire, people are starting to talk about these things on social media. The fool is usually new beginnings. So a new beginning for the people, a truth coming out with the Knight of Swords, but he comes in fast and furious with the truth. So that's what I see in the near future. Yes, a lot of confusion and dysfunction in the background. You see the man, he has his back turned towards us and he's looking at all those cups. Now there's
Yeah.
some cute things in those cups, but there's also some ugly things in those cups, and that's scary. So it's like, what are you going to choose? Where am I going to go? It's confusing, dysfunction. So the four of wands, the castle back there, it looks like two people getting married. You've arrived. You've gone through a threshold. So those are clarifiers. That's going to be happening very soon, according to the cards. Truth is going to be coming through. That King of Swords, and just like Kaila said, people are going to be stepping into their truth. Yeah, with a little sense of humor too. And the sun at the bottom of the deck, she turned the deck over to see what was on the. That's kind of like something coming down the pipe. So that sun is shining. Anytime you get a sun in any pool, even if it's horrible cards, the sun always shines bright and it makes it a little bit better. So that's coming. It's coming down the pipe. So we just have to, like Kylie says, just get ready for it, prepare, stand in your truth, go to nature and these things.
Yeah. Oh, beautifully Red, ladies. Wow. Do you teach people how to read the cards?
No,
No.
not me.
Barbara and Kaila are really good at explaining. I'm the one that looks at them and goes blah 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 blah, and they're like, "Well, and this and this needs."
And it,
I see a picture, I see it, and I go, "Okay." They're good at telling it.
but we all get the same. We
Yes.
mainly all get the same thing. We read
Yep.
in different ways. I love the way Kyla reads and explains it. She's just so calm and just gives me just calmness, you know. And I'm a logical reader. I see the card and this logically, this is what, you know, you put that with that and that's logical. That's what's happening today. And the people in social media, that's how I'm a little logical. I like the way Kylie, she's really spiritual and really calming and she can get that message to you.
Yeah, I
And
felt
Lynn, what I like about how Lynn reads is that, you know, she doesn't really have to go through each card. She could just open her eyes, look at the cards, and bam, she's got it. I'm
that.
like, how'd you do that? How'd you do that? Teach me. So we all have
And I'm
we
the
all
same
have
way as
different
them. I'm
ways.
like, you guys start because you're all pretty with what you say. I'm just gonna
And
go.
I'm like, no, Kyla, we push Kyla to the front. Well, we push Kyla to the front and she'll take care of it. But yeah, that's a beautiful
That's a good
message there
read.
that we
Yeah.
just got. Thank you
That's
for
a good
asking that
message.
question,
It's
Claire.
kind of
Wow.
like
Oh,
you have
that's
a
okay.
choice.
I didn't, yeah, I was just like, oh, am I gonna
Yeah,
ask?
it really is a beautiful question and a beautiful message is it kind of comes back to like having a choice. Are you going to be that three of swords and stay in the hurt, or are you going to go towards enlightenment, you know? So it's
Yeah,
a choice.
Yep.
yeah, it's beautiful. Lovely.
That's great. If you have another question, you just let us know. If you have
Oh,
another one, we
I
can
do.
do.
I thought of another one whilst just towards the end of that conversation. Um, Can we have like a reading about how the divine masculine and the divine feminine are placed energetically in the universe at the moment? Like what's going on between what is the balance, what is the imbalance, what needs to not needs to be I guess um what's not the word. Do you understand what I'm saying? What's the
And the
What's the
balance of
energy
it?
between, yeah, what's the energy between the divine masculine and the divine feminine? Because I'm
Hmm.
finding that a lot of there's a lot of imbalance there between the men and the women just globally. But I think there's a lot of confusion as to what their roles are, um, that sort of thing. Like what is the best advice or what do the cards say about how to bring that union, that beautiful union into balance. Um,
Okay.
Yes, I don't know
Uh,
about you all, but I had kept hearing that right now with the shift happening, it's the divine feminine's role to bring the shift in, but then there's a balancing act that has to happen because the divine masculine also has a role. So that's a great question.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Are you ready pulling, Lynn?
It's gonna
Oh,
have
I don't know.
Oh,
Are you ready pulling?
No, you go ahead. I'm having internet
Okay.
problems, so while you're doing that, I think I'm gonna try to switch my Wi-Fi. So you guys just
Okay.
hold on. You might see me glitch for a minute, but I'm gonna try to switch this over.
Okay. I'll pull on it then. So
Okay.
okay.
we'll look at the energy around the balance between the feminine energy and the masculine energy and where we stand with that.
Something that I came across that I was reminded of when you were speaking about the message that came through from Mother Gaia. And I think this might help some people. When I was doing my pure energy healing course, one thing that came up was to find your tree. And it was like energetically. So it's like, I know Lynn has found hers. I kept thinking, I haven't found mine yet. But I kept looking, feeling, you're walking in nature. Where's my tree? And you can just connect with your tree and, connect to nature that way as well. And then one day I just had this vision of this very beautiful, very old tree with lots of roots that were coming out of the ground. And I was sort of told that this is your tree, and I don't know where it is. I really don't know.
I love that. So
You
she's in
can,
your
you,
heart. Oh, that's so
yeah, so
nice.
you can connect energetically, and it's like a connection to Mother Gaia as well.
Mm.
And you can sort of like sit in that energy and uplift your vibration anytime you want. So maybe just sit in meditation. Maybe you'll find a tree that way and connect that way as well.
Beautiful. Yeah. I mean, because some people just can't get in out of their buildings, especially if they work in an office at 9 to 5. And yeah, it's very, very nice. I've heard Jean Decode, my dear friend, to often talk about sun gazing, and you can, if you can't see the sun, or you can't get to see the sun in the morning or in the evening, it's just as uh it can work just as well by visualizing the sun in
Yeah,
your set of eyes.
I do that as much as I can, and a lot of times because of my trees, what I do is I'll actually let the trees filter the sun. So even though it's higher than what you're supposed to do, and I've stopped wearing sunglasses, so even if it's, midday, I'll actually just kind of gaze up and down just so I
Yeah.
kind of get a quick as opposed to it letting it burn. But it's fabulous to sun gaze.
Oh, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah. Really, it just soothes the whole body,
Yeah.
doesn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, I try to get as much as that, much as that as I can. So we're looking at the balance between the masculine, the feminine, and the masculine energy, and where we stand as far as spiritual growth and on in our existence. So when I shuffle the cards, I wanted the first card to represent the feminine energy, and I wanted the second card that I lay down to represent the male energy, and the energy between it and all the energy around them. So the very first card that I put down that represents the female energy is the Six of Swords. You see the man, he's rowing in the water, he's rowing his boat.
Yep.
So the Six of Swords, swords are thoughts and words. So he's going from, let's say, rough waters. You see that little wave on the bottom side of the boat, and he's going out to calming waters. So that makes me feel that the feminine energy is a little bit more, she's already arriving, she's going out to get it. She's in a place where she's coming out of rough waters, and she's starting to open up and understand uh the power of her energy. Now, the male energy that I get is the one on the right, the guy with the stick. He's about ready to fight. So he's kind of like fighting against maybe himself, fighting against society, fighting against,
Society for sure today.
yeah,
His
yeah,
ego,
he's in,
perhaps,
huh?
maybe even his ego.
Yep.
Yeah, and fighting against himself, fighting against his ego, and he's in defensive mode. So I almost feel like when a feminine energy tries to open his eyes, and he gets all defensive. In fact, the Knight of Wands, the guy that right at the top that's on a horse, that's kind of like a battlefield type energy coming in. And the energy between the male and the female is that person with the cross. She's like, I'm gonna just sit here, and we're at a crossroads right now. We're just, I don't know. We're not, it's not doing anything. I'll do whatever I want. You do whatever you want to. You can fight me if you want to. But right now, our energy is like, okay, I'm just not going to talk to you about it. The thoughts and words. And when you see somebody with their eyes that are covered, that's almost like a psychological thing. So it's like the thoughts and words are the swords that are crossed. So I'm not going to talk. And plus, I'm not going to see either. I'm not going to just, I'll just do my thing. You do your thing. And
Yeah.
at the bottom, I have there's the eight of cups in the middle. There's the Queen of Swords. The Queen of Swords is underneath the female energy. The Queen of Wands. The Queen of Wands, she's very woo. She's really witchy, kind of like, in fact, she has a little black cat down there.
Yeah.
So the female energy is almost like tapping into her real magical energy as well. And look
Wow.
at what's under the male energy. He's all closed up. He's all closed, fours are closed. He's holding on to his coins. I'm going to hold coins are physical things, tangible things. And he's like holding on to his physical and tangible things while she's getting into
Come on, guys.
her.
I need to get you. Like I need a push.
Yes.
So it's
Oh,
almost like they're kind of behind in their, what do you think, Lynn?
In their growth. Well, the interesting thing about the Four of Pentacles too, going back to Gaia, because he's got the coins under his feet, he's not allowing himself to be grounded or anything as well. And we know we love the Queen of Wands. She's our woo queen. She is down to earth. She is all that needs to be. So, and I think that's the feminine side's definitely a little bit ahead of the men where they're fighting it and they're not grounding themselves. But I mean, yeah, it's
Hmm.
environment, it's so many things coming at
But
them.
you notice, right, Lynn and Kyla, you'll notice this too. We have
Yeah.
not one major arcana.
Right, exactly. So
Right.
it can be easily overcome
Hmm.
with the work.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially because you
When you
got
get
the
a
Ten of
man
Pentacles on the bottom there too.
Yeah.
as a social media card again.
Yeah, yeah.
Hmm. And also
Kyla,
generate
Coming out. There's a
what
lot
do you
of
think
men.
about
I'm
Kyla?
finding a lot of men on social media. I particularly
Ah,
seem to be
That's
coming
true.
up on my feed that are really, they are starting to speak and
Mhm.
you know, speak the real truth about how to heal yourself. A lot of men are starting, but there's a lot that still aren't. Mm.
and then you have that Page of Swords, and maybe Kyla, you can take a look at the Page of Swords. What do you think about the Page of
Mhm.
Swords and the Ace of Wands up there?
Right. So there's a little
Two
bit of
people.
how to say disagreement, not seeing, not going along the same path right now. And there's a call to action with the Ace of Wands. So a little bit of um fiery, creative, inspirational energy needs to happen before things move. And so soul searching, I would say, with the Eight of Cups just below. Because when you look at the Four of Pentacles, which represents the divine masculine, it's sort of like they're in between two worlds right now. They know that something needs to happen, but they're not making any move, at least not right now. But that card at the bottom, the Eight of Cups, also means soul searching. So, the opportunities there, as you ladies said already, to change things. So a little bit of soul searching has to happen. And they are in between worlds, so it's just to make that move now.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Wow.
And the
But
Queen
So
of Wands,
cool.
the one with it. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
I
Oh,
was
I'm
just
just
going to say
saying,
that you.
so cool.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry. What did you say?
Oh, I just said this is so cool.
Ah,
But it's so amazing to see that the divine feminine has that Queen of Wands, that
I
energy is
I
spot
love
on.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
that's intuitive. That's intuition. In fact, I did a Super Bowl party the other night, and I was reading cards, and I could tell that most of the ladies were really just opening up to their senses, let's say. And the men just sat there like on a lump, and I was like, oh, okay, that's interesting. So these cards kind of reflect what I saw the other night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
And not to say that they'll never get there because, we can't say that, but I believe they'll get there because just like kind of says the soul searching card down in the middle with that moon and he's walking away with his red cape. That's soul searching. So that's the energy between them. They just don't see eye to eye right now, but it's we're all working on it.
Yep.
Well, the man is a little bit stubborn, but I think he'll get there.
It's excellent. Yeah, I'm getting lots of ahas. Very, very interesting. Gosh, I think I might have to do another tarot course. I got through a little bit of one, and then my guide said, "No, we've got to teach you a different way for now." And then they started teaching me with the pendulum. But I still have my tarot. I still have my
Now you're
quite.
speaking my language, girl. I love my pendulum.
Oh yeah, yeah. This is my
Yeah.
little beauty. I've had it, the same one. So very, very humble little Jasper, but my gosh, some of this stuff that's come through using this. Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
Mhm.
The girls make
Yeah,
me use it all the time now. They're like, Lynn, bring
Yeah.
your pendulum out.
Yep. Mhm.
yeah, it's a good way. And
Yep.
when you start hearing the words before they're spelt out, and they're like, huh, what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All
Love the gotta
right.
love the gotta love the pendulum. In fact, Lynn does a series of pendulum conspiracies and pendulums on our channel. So you'll be seeing more of that.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
cool. Yeah.
Conspiracy theory. They're just quick
Okay.
little videos to kind of get people to think and maybe start hopefully doing their own research for some things, you know?
Yeah.
Good on you,
So
Lynn. Yeah, yeah. Pushing that
That's that's the
pendulum.
message that we're putting out
yep.
for
Yeah.
people to open their mind and kind of think for themselves. And we're not trying to influence anybody and say, hey, you got to do this, you got to do that, but kind of open your mind and think and have critical thinking and start questioning
Going
things.
towards
It's not bad to
God.
question.
Oh yeah. So do people come to you privately, ladies, for readings and things like that? Because you're very good. Very, very good.
We are we are open to doing private readings, yes. And Lynn does sound healing. I do pure energy healing as well. Barbara is always busy in her entertainment. She does her own private shows and so on, and she does tarot really well. So
Yes.
yeah,
She's been
and we're
doing
just getting
group tarots, like she said the other night too. So
yeah,
I don't know how she does
yes.
like 3 hours of tarot. It's like, whew,
I
no.
Yeah.
know one after the
Oh,
next.
that had me. I mean, it was such a long line. It was kind of slow at the beginning. I was like, okay, I'm just gonna, do. And they had another girl that was reading lips. Did I tell you all that there was another girl, another
Oh no.
reader, but she was reading lips?
Yeah,
So
I
you
Yeah.
would
can
go, she
tell.
had she had this table set up and had this mirror on a table, and I was like, wow, what is she doing over there? And she had all these lipsticks, like Wet n Wild lipstick, and that so you put on this lipstick. She gave you a clean thing, and then you press your lips against this piece of paper,
Oh,
and then she would look at it and read
Oh,
your
that's
lips and what type of person saw.
oh, that's
I heard
interesting.
like reading tea
Yeah.
leaves, the coffee
Yeah,
cup,
and palms,
and
right?
I learned about doing flower readings, but I've never heard about that one.
No, me neither.
Yeah. She said here in the States, it's a big thing. It's starting to pick up and everything. I also see a lot of people that are starting to ask for tarot card reading, especially at the corporate events and
Yeah.
private parties. And so people are starting to open up to it. So
Yeah.
I'd,
How did you
and
ladies learn it? Did you do a course yourself online or like in
That's
face
how
to
we
face?
met. That's how we
well,
met
funny
in
that you
Mm.
ask.
Hogwarts. Yeah.
Funny that you ask. Yeah, we did a course together. Kyla, tell her how we met.
Yeah, we all going through COVID together. We all found a wonderful tarot reader called Janine Morageau,
Oh,
and we all did
Gina.
a course.
Shout
Yeah,
out to
we all did
Janine. Hi, Janine.
a trans term course, and then we started a practice group after, and then lots of things started to click. We found out about past lives together. We just clicked.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you all have had past lives together?
Yeah.
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 Yeah, yeah, yeah.
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 Yeah, interesting
One
too.
of my guides that has recently come in, who is one of my soulmates, is the one that kind of introduced all of us together too.
Oh, that's wild.
We've
Yep.
been finding
And you see
out
the
so
smile,
much.
you see the smile that comes to my face when you talk about it. Like, yeah,
Liz.
that's a good energy guy.
Yeah. What was
Yeah.
the past life that you all kind of were in together that do you
Well, there's been
recall?
multiple ones. The one that we know for sure, all three of us were there together. We were Cathars. We were actually sisters, and
Mhm.
unfortunately, we were all burned in a church
Yeah, I could
together.
see you all being tied along with by a rope. I could
Yep.
just see you being led. Yeah. I can actually see past lives without
Mhm.
being in a
Yep.
hypnotic state. So I just have to ask and I'll see it. Yeah, it wasn't the best
Hmm.
thing, but I think you
No.
did accomplished a lot in a short time
Yep.
in
Yeah,
life.
I remember being very angry at that time when it was happening. I was like, okay, they're burning us, doggone it, they're burning us. Well,
Mm.
I'd rather die like that than, I remember that's just that energy that, I
Yeah.
was like, they shouldn't do that. That's horrible, that type of
Yeah,
stuff.
as soon
So
as
Yeah.
I found out about the
Yeah.
life, Barbara got mad. She instantly went back to it. So,
yeah,
and
it's like,
Kyla actually had some memories to that too.
Yeah, I got
So,
quite emotional when I heard
Uh,
about it. Felt
yeah.
everything come back. Yeah.
it is an emotional life to remember, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes in past life regression work, people are expecting, to go and see themselves on the back of a horse with a beautiful dress and yeah, riding off into or say, living in a castle, which people I have had that, but I have to tell them, please don't have any expectations because your high self will guide you towards exactly what you need to see for this life now, the most important life, this life, and healing the inner child. I'm finding more and more clients actually, which is interesting, over the past, say, 6 months in past life regression and healing, are going back into this life back. They're not going into past lives. I believe they're all happening now, but that's beside the point. But they're going back into this life. And they're like, oh, they get a bit, disappointed. I'm like, don't be disappointed. This is important that you revisit this time of your life. And your high self is really pointing this out. So let's go deeper. Let's go deeper. Why are you seeing that? What brought you to this moment,
Yeah.
And often, some people go back to the mother's womb for a while because they need to hear and feel safe and go back to that part, or, yeah, I find that I've really found that quite an interesting phenomenon of late.
Yes, remarkable,
Have
remarkable.
something to do
I
with.
just
Mm.
I was going to ask the girls if they have other questions to ask you, because I had one more about the Mother Gaia. Lynn and Kyla, did you have any questions that you wanted to
No,
ask
because
Claire?
we know we've got to watch Claire's time too. So
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, that's why I was trying
Yeah.
to wrap it up. If you had any
Yep.
other questions.
Yeah, I'm good. If you've got your last question, I'm okay, unless Kyla's got something else. Did you have a question, Kyla?
Claire, I'm going to hand it over to you. Is there anything else that you wanted to let us know on the show? Anything else from Mother Gaia or anything
Oh, that's
that
really sweet. I just want people to know that, if they are suffering, that they're not alone, and that in session they can achieve a lot in a short amount of time, and that messages that come through from spirit, from source, from their angels, are always going to help them. Will be the priority for them in their healing, and that it does take interaction, and that anything is possible if you set your intentions and are willing to do the work. And yeah, and that I'm always here to hold space for you, and I really appreciate having you on. And I also teach people how to a psychic and spiritual development. So that's tailored actually one-to-one basis, because some people their clairs are all at different levels, and some people aren't interested in clairvoyant development. They're more interested in learning how to do energy work and things like that. So it's sort of comes in and is tailored to the client. But yeah, that's about it. And if you want to come to Bali, come on to the next retreat. And maybe one day, ladies, we can do a retreat somewhere in the world. Wouldn't that be cool?
That will be so good. Yes.
Oh, awesome. Solo agrees. Can you hear him?
Yeah, I heard the bark. So that's lovely. So with that said, we want to thank you, Claire, again for taking time out of your schedule to the emails and answering and everything like that. We really appreciate that, and spreading your knowledge.
Thank you. Well,
and we're going to add
you're our first guest on our new channel. So
oh wow. Yay.
And
well,
what a
I'll
way to celebrate.
spread the love on my social media. And yeah, thank you, ladies, and have a beautiful evening. Is it night time for you in the
yeah,
more or
States?
less.
Yeah, we're all on the same. All three of us are in the same time zone. So yep, it is.
Yeah. We're going to put all of your links and where everybody can find you. And so if they want to go to the next retreat in October, because I know you're sold out right now. Thank goodness you are sold out. And I had no doubt your everything that you offer and services will include it, and let everybody know. And with that, we'd like to thank everybody for watching the Three of Pentacles and this special show of ours with Miss Claire Woodley. And like, share, and subscribe, of course. And we shall see you all very soon. Thank you again, Claire.
God bless you. Bye. Thank you so much.
Best wishes.